love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared. I'm so gone, no I'm never turning back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so what? You're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong. You will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate I attack. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up. Don't be scared.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the zombie stream. So here we are, finally coming down to $78,000 area. It's been kind of sticking out and speaking to me on some of these bigger time frames. And if you guys were checking out the channel and watching this last week on Wednesday when we were going up to here, and that was my cautionary tale. Let me see if I can get to a thing over here. Okay, we'll use this chart. The biggest thing was this trend line that we had, major trend line here. I'm on a bigger time frame, 12-hour, daily, whichever. As long as it's a bigger one, that we can get some perspective here. And we were following this little channel we were in, but we lost it. And then coming, they dumped us on last Sunday. This is what they did. They were taking us down on Friday, getting us scared, and then they even pulled back a little bit on the weekend. Now, they didn't use their other tricks that they've been doing before, where they would try to, pump us up try to get us pumping up on a weekend. Sometimes they like to do that before they dump us down. This time they took us up midweek on Wednesday. Even got above our trend line here. A lot of people love the breakout, and we were looking for the possibility of it sticking. It did not stick. We lost it. And my plan and what I kept telling was, I'm not chasing. I'm selling up through here in preparation for the lower lows that we most likely will get. And we made a lower high here. And I was talking about the possibility of us coming to 78. I wasn't for sure that it's going to happen this weekend, but knew that we could have a chance. And if I picked a day for it to happen, it would have been today, because they're getting kind of predictable now. Just to be honest with you, they're getting a little bit predictable now. At any moment, I expect them to switch that nonsense up a little bit, throw us off our game. But so far this weekend, I was not. Now, I did think that maybe they were showing some signs last night on altcoins that they might be pumping us up, and my warning was, don't chase it, don't chase it. It ain't real. Don't trust what they're doing right now. And I still maintain that. Don't trust what they're doing right now. This is the point where they will try to get you into the mindset tomorrow the whole world is going to just dump in the stock markets. Black Monday is the coming. Tariffs. You might as well sell off everything now. Get prepared for it. Get that dry powder, because it is happening. And, you know, maybe it is. But also, more times than not, what you're seeing happen right now, the dump off on this Sunday at these areas of support on Bitcoin. Sometimes you'll come back and say, oh man, I fell for what they did. I fell for it. And I'm just trying to keep that from happening. So it is kind of neat, and it doesn't happen all the time, but when you get your mindset set to where you're selling on the way up and then finding places, you know, certain levels to buy on the way down. We are at a level right now on Bitcoin where I think it looks very enticing to pick up a little bit. This is my game plan. I was trying to free up some capital so that I can pick some up down here. So picking me up a little bit of Bitcoins through here, and even if she comes down lower, it's possible. It's possible. Right now, I've got my fibs pulled because I trust my fibs, and I'm going from the swing low to the swing high area, and we are retesting the 786 area right now. That's where we're hanging out. This is where I'm on the 12 hour. Do you want to see what it looks like on the smaller time frames? Oh my God, it looks horrible. You got too many lines on your chart, man. I wouldn't take one of these guys off because he's not valid anymore. We broke our major 618 area here, and so that led us down to our 786. 886 is right below it, just right here at 78,000. We may trickle down. That may be what happens tomorrow. I don't know. Right now, we're finding support here. If we want to pull out another little fib trick, swing low to swing high. Tell me where I need to buy. We touch our 618s. That's a full 1-to-1 move from here, and that's cool. I'm cool with that. If we go from this little booger to that little booger, we're at a 2 at the bottom for certain areas too. Personally, I like this one right here. Little bottom to our biggest top that we had right up there. Takes us right down to the areas that we got spelled out right here. We're hoping to catch something on the 113, 80,000. We did not, 1272. And here we are, right in our sweet little spot. Right in our little sweet spot, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking at this as a possible bottoming area. Possible. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to just bounce today, but she's in a good chance to where she might try it. We come down to the 1 minute time frame, and that's where we can see the possibility of whether this one's going to stick or not. In my personal opinion, she's trying, but man, she's trying to stick here at the 786 level, and now we're all the way down from big time frames to small time frames, and this is as best as we got. And this is going from some candle bodies to candle bodies, and right up to the wicks that we're respecting so far, and this should be our line in the sand. If this breaks, hey man, maybe you could short, you know, support, because support would turn into resistance. That would be the idea. It's not the best place to start shorting here at all. A lot of people will do that though. A lot of people will look at this as a bear flag, and it may be, but you dang sure don't want to open up a short at the bottom of the trend line. You want to be up toward the top of the trend line somewhere, or a top support line of about 79.7 if you're going to try to short this little guy. What is likely to happen is we catch a bounce here, then come back up to a certain spot and then roll over, and that would be, if you're trying to short this market, one of the best places to get in my personal opinion. But a lot of people will feel the need, I gotta start shorting, I got no choices, it's just going down, I should ride with the trend, right? I mean, depending on where you are in this game and your experience, you know, these voices will be going on inside your head. And if you're watching people on YouTube that are really hell-bent one way or the other, it's going to influence you. And the best thing to do is try to stay as neutral as possible in these markets, especially at this time in this market. Try to keep your mindset neutral. We don't want our minds to be swayed by what we might see on YouTube. So I'm trying to be very cautious about what I'm presenting to you, so that I'm not influencing you one way or the other. And that's I think that's something that a lot of us YouTube creators need to step up our game on, because some of them say, look, I told you, look, who's in this with me? And you know, what the hell? In my personal opinion, that's a way to get a lot of your followers kind of that are trying to do good, trying to understand this market, to get them to make, you know, maybe a situation may be working for the person on TV or the video, but that's not the same situation that you are in exactly. It may not play out. Your mileage may vary, folks. I am looking for a possible bounce here. Now, I'm on the very tiny 1 minute ass time frame. Very tiny. Might there be a little long play, a little scalp plays? I'm sure there will be. This is a good place to look for a little long scalp, in my personal opinion. I don't know that I'm telling you to play one. I'm in a mixed bag of trades. Some of them are under, some of them are in profit or have shorted on the way down. Playing a little bit of both ways there, and definitely getting beat up on my longs, but my shorts are, you know, making up for most of that. I wish I'd not stayed in some of those longs. I wish I'd not broken a few of my rules when it comes to stop losses. But, you know, that's part of the game that we're playing right here. So we got a 618 revisited. It was a 618 before, and it's a 618 from this pool too. I think we got a good chance of coming back to this $81,200 area. Believe it or not. Now, whether we roll over from there, well, that's what we got to see. I want to zoom out just a little bit and look to the left and see what we got over here beneath this magical area. And you see that was support. We were talking about this the other night on the stream, because that's what I do. I stream at night and I talk a lot, and just how she was holding so nice over here, over here, over here. But there comes to be a point, man. Well, double bottoming here is kind of cool. Coming back and testing it for a third time, that's starting to get a little suspect. That means, hey man, we're not bouncing off of this the way we should, and eventually if we keep knocking on this door, it's going to open for us. And boy, did it. It opened today when we came back down for the fourth time, and it did not support us. Not surprising, but well, hoping that maybe that area would hold, right? There's always that glimmer of hope, and it could have, would have, should have. But I think we've been pretty much spot on with what we were looking for in the bigger time frames. And when you look at the bigger time frames, it does kind of give you a hint at what might be happening. And you know, our $78,000 number finally came into effect here on a Sunday. And I'm just grateful that for, you know, this time I was ready for it. With what we did this weekend, selling out of the altcoins and getting them ready for position. Safeguarding, you know, and this is more for the long-term holders, the spot holders, maybe spot margin. Very few of you guys are even in spot margin. That's where you got some low leverage plays, which honestly, I will not do that as much next time, because fees, when you're in drawdown, though, those fees start adding up. So one of the lessons that's really going for me this time, because last cycle I was mostly spot was the big play. Leverage has been more of something for me this cycle, and there's been little surprises that come, and it seems like that's the nature of the game. Fees will they will slowly eat at you, and if you've got a play that you've been doing for, you know, dang near 2 years, imagine how many fees occur over that. So what I'm finding is that you gotta constantly be taking profits, constantly, just to cover your fees, just to stay on top of the game, or else it's just gonna, you know, eat away at your collateral. The silent killer. It's like blood pressure, but for leverage. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we seem to be doing okay. We're at 79.6. That's better than being at 78.6. Would you not agree? We are starting to catch a little support here. We are breaking above the 9 moving average. We're getting a few little signs here on the bigger time frames. 5 minutes, a nice little green dot there. I like the 6 minute. Do we have a green dot there? We do. We just got, you get a green dot, I get a green dot, we all get a green dot to the upside. Relief rally is what we're looking for. 81,300-ish. If we can get there, might get just a little bit below it. Might just be a little bit below it. Ichimoku Cloud's kind of saying, hey man, maybe 80,800. Those 800 numbers are kind of important. Let me say hello to everybody in the chat here. We got 14 people hanging out with me on this dreaded drop day. And here's our first sign of relief. Here is our first sign of relief. And like I said earlier, the first thing that some people are going to look at is a bear flag. And, you know, you got a rising channel, which are bearish, but you are at a 786 retracement area, a point of support, trying to gain over the 9-moving average, thickening in Ichimoku Cloud. Some good signs. These ribbons that we got, these moving averages, they are all fanned out. They are all totally bearish here on this particular time frame. And so what we're hoping for is, or what we'll probably see, is some kind of little rally up. And if we can get high enough, we might not roll over and come back down to 77 or 75 or 73. But there's no way to know that for sure. We got the wild card called the regular market that is happening tomorrow. And this is how on Sundays, because there's, you know, the CME will open up in about an hour. We'll start getting a taste about what they think that they're going to do, right? Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And that's probably a good one to look at, because I want to keep driving this home. When you zoom out on this one, they got a different chart. I mean, we got the same numbers, but they haven't been trading this weekend. They're still at 84,000, okay? They're at 84,000. That's going to open up with a gap down here. We got a gap. Now they like to fill those gaps, and that would be a reason for them to take it all the way back up there. I'm just saying that's how they play the game. But what I wanted to point out is here, and I keep doing this. This is where we are on our every other chart on Bitcoin. We're below the 200 moving average. Rejected from it. Oh my God, going to hell in the handbasket. The death cross is happening right now as we speak. Starting to happen right here today. Oh my God, it's over for Bitcoin, dude. It's over. But on the futures, which will open here in about 1 hour, we're above the 200 moving average. We're good. We got a thickening Ichimoku Cloud is begging for us. We got the 9 moving average over the 21. I got more bullish signs over here on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the futures that the big boys play and the big boys read on this chart. Hasn't got a death cross, far from getting the death cross. I mean, we got 50 over 100 here. I mean, don't you think that's interesting that 50 is just crossing 200 over here? So which one will win out? I'm almost willing to bet that this one will, to be honest with you. Just taking a few tidbits from a great trader called WD Gann. Says, look at them, pay a little bit more attention to them futures, because that's what they're betting on, is what the future will do. And if that's what the money's leaning toward, then that might be where the price goes. So something to pay attention to here. Like I said, they will open here in a few minutes, and wow, where they left off at 84,000 on that little Friday pump. And it looked good too. It looked good. She's above all these moving averages. And then they got to wake up and come into a dump where we're way down here. Woo, baby. There's a gap to be had there, ladies and gentlemen. There's a gap. There's a reason for them to take that price back up, so that their buddies at the yacht club will not get screwed on this deal, because heaven forbid that a bunch of plebs coming in this market will just come and take our money. We got to show these little suckers a trick. Now, I don't know if that's what's going on there, but that sure is what it feels like sometimes. And it's crazy. It often seems that sometimes that stuff does come out. Oh man, Larry Fink, hate to take you away from your golf course, but your golf game there and your Epstein Island playoff stuff, but can you come over here for a minute? What else might we be able to see here before I come over to the chat and say hi? I said I was going to do that, and I never did because I got sidetracked. Squirrel! Some of you guys are... Is it time for the turkey? Do we need the turkey? Will the turkey make you feel better than a zombie? Boom! Let's see if we can get over to the turkey. Is that good? Oh no, that one's good. We'll go with this one. Where the turkey face? All right, so we got this rejection line right here, or resistance area, or trend line, or how forth ever, or supply line, or whatever you want to call it. It's a line that tells us, hey man, there's a lot of resistance along that line. And I draw down for channels now. That's just what I do. I'm a little Gann thing. Respect the angles, baby, because the angles help square up the price and the time in some kind of weird ass way that I don't fully understand, but from what I do understand, it sure does help me not to freak out so much when I see that, ooh, that's a perfect place to bounce down here at 78.5. And just respecting the trend lines there. I know she broke out and faked us out there, but the majority of the touches are there, the angles there. And also to come up, and also to come down. The thing to remember is this is a bullish channel. These usually break up after they get established. The only downside is that they can bounce around inside that channel until they decide to level out and go up. But to me, I like what I'm seeing. It's kind of what I was hoping to see. It's always scarier when it's happening than when you're trying to plan for it. Because I know it's like, yeah, man, we're going to get ready for 78,000, man. And, some of the altcoins did not give me much to take profit on. I've had to kind of finagle and watch to keep my eye on them. So far, so good. This is not the greatest time to be in altcoin or to be hodling altcoins, is what it feels like. But it might be a good time to start looking at a few little guys, and I think some people are. They're buying that fear and greed. And speaking of fear and greed, let's go and take a look at this today. Have you updated? The next update is going to be in about 3 hours, and I guess I'm thinking we're probably going to be a little closer to 30 than where we are right now at 34. But last month we had a nice big drop down in this area. How'd that turn out? How did that turn out last month, a month ago? Early March, how did that turn out? Where were we early March? Where was we early March? Let's go back and let's take a look at this. Fear and Greed Index is a great indicator. A lot of people use that. Here we were early March, and that's where we came down to 76,000. After that, when the market was so scared and terrified, well, turns out they were playing us. That was on the Sunday night, right? No, that's on a Monday. It was on a Monday. It was after a Monday. My bad. Okay, well, let's go back and let's recall it. They were dumping us on. They were just dumping us from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We popped up a little bit on Monday. Oh, we're bouncing back. We just made a lower low, looking for a lower high or a higher high or something, and then they dumped us again. And that was on a Monday. It was that whole Monday. They pumped you up in the morning, got you excited, 84,000, then dumped us down. Not uncommon. I mean, it didn't all happen in one day, but going to 88 and then finding itself $10,000 cheaper at 78. Yeah. You got to have some of that spread to really make money, especially doing the spot margin thing that I'm doing. I mean, I can't do very much with the low leverage that I'm using. With these ranges, I've got to have a little wiggle room there. I said I was coming to the chat. I promised I would. Let's do it right now. Let me say hello to everybody here. 15 people hanging out with me. We got Sin. Sin, I think you were the first one here. Yay. We got Glittery Marshmallow, Tommy, 2 liters. With a little cowbell. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have a little cowbell in your life, well, that might be what's missing. That and a little bit of Jesus. I recommend you have Jesus and then get you a cowbell. Seems to work for me. I don't know. It may not. Well, I mean, the Jesus part should work for you pretty fine. The cowbell's a little added bonus, but it's just fine. Clears the air, and hey, man. Why should old Bessie have all the fun of being the little ring-a-dingle? We got Angel. How's it going, Angel? Glad to see ya. Melissa, hello. And let's see, make sure I'm getting everybody here, not missing too much. Hey, you guys filling up my chat box. Fill my chat box. Melissa says, I'm not selling either. I rode too much down, and I bought a little last week. I wish I would have waited. Well, that's how it goes. But and hopefully you're on spot, Melissa, and be happy about that. You're in a much better situation than anybody who is trying to do, kind of leverage and caught in the drawdown, and I can speak from experience on that. It's even worse, but when you've been in this game for long enough, I mean, it doesn't freak you out as much. But spot, yeah, I mean, there's the saying in here, you know, you haven't lost until you sold, until you realize that loss. And that's easier done on spot than it is on any kind of leverage. And this is part of the game. The biggest thing that I would say, just, you know, be confident in the coins that you're in. This is a great time to reevaluate your strategy, because and find the narratives that, you know, a couple of coins in each little narrative that usually do pop off, and be ready to take profits when they do pop off, because those narratives just come and go. Gaming, that was the hot thing, and I even back when it was hot, I'm saying, seriously, I mean, how's this? You guys are putting all your money on this. You think gaming is going to change the world? And I mean, I know it's a big thing, but yet in crypto, they still got a lot of stuff to work out together. But crypto, the altcoins are hype. Once you realize that, and that they are bloated, they are very bloated, overvalued projects. And that's why they give back up to 90 to 99% of their gains during the bear market. And it's hard to accept that sometimes. But I like this project. It's Caspa. It's going to change the world. Waves. This whole market is waves, ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. It's our jobs to get used to buying on the downs and selling on the highs. And for some reason, it's a hell of a lot harder than that. And the reason it's harder is because what goes on inside our heads. And in here. Our heads and our hearts. That's what makes you make the decisions that either change your life or make it a lot worse. And I think you're on I think you are on the right track, Melissa. I mean, your other option is to sell now, and that's exactly what they want you to do. It's exactly what the whales want. The ones that are out there buying it from you. Somebody's buying it from you right now. If you sell, there's somebody saying, okay, blood in the streets, let's go, baby. And need more cash, need more dry powder. That's my situation too. I don't have, you know, a solid source of you know, steady income coming in, right? So, and some other people like me in this situation, it makes it a little bit harder. So we got to recycle what we can as best that we can. Now, some people do have that income, and I'm not, you know, they're selling something, that, you know, maybe a book, maybe a course, maybe a subscription to a service. Exchange links, which I've never really seen much come from. I've never really seen anything but dust on the coins come there. But I mean, there's ways to make passive income, and that's a very smart way. That's the way most of your YouTubers and influencers that are really building their wealth, is taking a lot of that passive income and then, you know, funneling a portion of that into crypto. And the smart ones did it in the Bitcoin, and it's worked out very well for them. But that's not the whole secret that they're telling you. But I'll tell you here, yeah, if you got passive income and can put it into crypto, hopefully, you know, at some point this will generate income. I've not went full hog to try to monetize my channel. I'm just pretty much community supported. I'm not out here trying to do much of anything other than, you know, the little $3 membership on YouTube that gets the Chart School series every week. Anyway, let's come on down with the chat. I'm starting to get up on targets here, off target. Road Dog, you are so right. They are. I say you are so right. They are to the moon, and sell your wife car, pet frame. About the I guess we're talking about influencers, things like that. And sometimes they will make you feel that way. CME may take us up. Yeah, Jim sees it. Jim sees it. Would be a pleasant surprise. Yeah, I'll be watching the S&P futures when they open. And Jim says, I see a lot of people drawing a correlation to 1987. Would you mind checking the macro on SPX USM2? You get me into some uncharted territory for me. I like it. It was I gotta. Oops. Let me get back over here. I'm wave. SPX. And USM2, and we'll go over here to all, and I think I'll just hit enter and it should give me the chart, right? Okay, SPX to USM2, and should we add this one? Oh wait, I got it down here. I need to pull you up so I can put you, let me put you in there. That way I can, nope. I want to put him, yeah, my indices. I'm going to put him at the top there. That way I don't have to go searching for it as much. The only thing is I have no numbers. I got no numbers. It's all zero. It's all zero. I think I've looked at this before. Yeah, before. And that's all I had was numbers. I mean, no numbers. I just got zero. So I got no data other than just lines in the chart and support resistance areas, wherever that might happen to be. And we're going to look on the macro, so a little bit bigger than today. Well, this fractal I did it, and we did not hold anything here. I don't know what we were thinking there, but it must have been a fun suggestion. Resistance area here. Let's zoom out. What's the best thing to do? Just get rid of everything. So we're looking at this to try and figure out, hey man, how's this market going to react? And she's had corrections. So far, we look like a normal correction that, I mean, was not fun then either. This was the COVID one right here that really took us down to talk to the Lucy line there. You can see she even has a place over here. If we do anything, I would expect, maybe going to the 50 moving average. But so far, what I'm seeing here in my candles, maybe she's just wicking down below the 21. The 9's nowhere near crossing. And we can look from past history when we're in similar situations over here. Here's a similar situation right here in February 2022. I'll get to 87 here in just a second. I think that's what the question was. Just know every time we were doing that, we did come back up, okay, to the 9 moving average. Even before, before it even crossed, there were lots of times that we came back to talk to this guy. So what this chart tells me is, if there is a scary situation to sell, most likely, I mean, we're at the very bottom. Most likely, if we don't get too scared and don't let it freak us out, we get a little relief rally, and then that's a better place to start making decisions. The bad thing is when we get a relief rally and everybody's not seeing their portfolio down, they're actually seeing it start to come back up. Oh, we're almost back. Let's hold on. Maybe we should add some more to our trade. And we're making bad decisions or the wrong decisions there. That's just my take on it. We're on the monthly. Let's go back to 1987. That would be right here. But even on this one, I mean, ooh, boy, that wick went all the way down. She still came back and retested that 9 moving average there the very next month. I'm on the monthlies, by the way, the monthly candles. I see, to me, I see a lot of difference between the two. Let me just, my ribbons are different. My ribbons are strong and positive. We got a nice strong uptrend. Over here, that was an actual crashing, it looks like. We crashed and we were starting to come out of it. We're starting to come out of it and just getting above the 200 moving average and all that good stuff. Let me come down to a weekly. What does a weekly look like? Back in 87. And looks like she maybe went below the 618. How far did you go? So big move coming down to the 618 there. Still, even back here, I mean, we had a trend line and drawn it as best as we could. I mean, yeah, she broke it, and everybody be scared. And what I would be seeing at that time when that's happening is the 360 come up on this one, and to me, I would be taking that as a positive sign. There at that time, I'm just trying to see how I'd be interpreting this chart here, and I'd be doing the same thing, man. I'll be saying, ooh, as it starts happening, 9's not crossing over the 21, and when it does, well, that's a different thing. Don't know if you would have had it came way down, but then she came back up. She came back up a good, how much? A good 30%, dropping from 36%. So about halfway. And then she came down, and then after that we started doing okay. So that was bad. That was Black Monday back then, and I forgot all of the details about it. But we're talking back in Reagan, back in the Reagan days. I don't, I think what we're going to find is that a lot of countries are just going to be calling in. I think the reports that we're going to get, a lot of them just want to say, hey man, okay, we want to play ball. We want to be on the good side. Hey, this is a door for a lot of these countries to come in and open up trade with the US, in my personal opinion. This is a step up for all those little guys out there, because the big ones like China, they freaked out, right? Thought, well, we're going to do retaliatory tariffs. Ha ha ha. Yeah, we'll just have a trade war. And I don't think Trump's trying to start a trade war. I think he's trying to level out the field. And it also gives some other countries an opportunity, in my personal opinion, to do business with us. And so if they lighten up on, all that Trump is trying to, hey man, you guys are taxing the hell out of us and not letting our products come in there. And it's not fair. It's not fair. And I've seen a lot of these economists, and I think the more of the communist or the Marxist kind or whatever, they do seem to go that way. Talk about, well, we're the powerhouse. It's a sign of strength that we're funneling all our money, and we're seeing how all the it's just flat out fraud in the government. Dang it! I mean, the taxes that you pay on everything you're doing here. I mean, they're just taking that and say, oh wow, look, it's a lottery. It's a free. We got so much money, we can just throw it everywhere. And if that's not enough, we'll just get Jerome to print it. Honey, we're good. That's stupid. That's running us into the ground. We all know that. The country knows that. Are we getting on the rant? We're getting on the rant again. But I think it's a good opportunity to open up, like Vietnam. I mean, that sounded horrible. But now they made a call, and now what I'm hearing is, okay, we're tariff neutral. They had the option to go tariff neutral. If they want to play ball, fair. They get the sweetest deals. That's what I'm seeing. That's the opportunity I'm seeing. It gives the other countries a chance to line up and do business with the US, which does control the global monetary reserve. And that just helps that status that much more. And then we weed out the other ones that have been just kind of screwing us around, or trying to muscle us around, or whatever they're trying to do, and they realize, oh crap, America does really buy most of our stuff. If we mess this up, then we're gonna have to rely on this other broke ass country to help us. And hey, broke ass country over here, you're going to have to start pulling America's weight. China, what are you going to do? Well, you're almost broke ass too. How are you going to pull the weight that America's pulling? These are the things that I'm seeing, and I'm not an expert, but that's just what the dots that I see to connect just seem to kind of point to. And it will be a bumpy ride, but I think we're already starting to see signs of that, in my personal opinion there. Jim, I don't know if I got onto what you were talking about there or not, but there was one thing I did want to do. Are we still there? The one thing that I did want to, what was this? Was I scribbling? That says ho. That's an H and an O. What were we talking about? What were we doing over here? Sure enough, ho ho ho. Now it says low ho. Anyway, I don't know what's going on there. What I do want to do is pull a fib from here and a fib from the bottom, because nothing gives me more insight than Fibonacci for some reason. And ooh, baby, we're at a good area. Ichimoku cloud looks, well, I mean, it's not horrible. It looks slightly recoverable. Slightly recoverable. All right, let's take our low to here. What we got? Ooh, the 618 right down here. So, in my personal opinion, I think we got a chance to catch support. Was this Standard & Poor against the M2 money fund here in this area? I want to see what happens in this area. That's the way I want to put it. But the bigger moving average, I'm on the weekly now. the momentum is still there. She's not the strong. It's not like she's at a big tough. I'm good. And these angles were good, but the bigger ones aren't. They're kind of a little bit more leveled out. The support and resistance guys are always going to be looking for a lower level, and that doesn't have to happen. So I find that that's interesting, and let's come down to smaller time frames to see if we're getting any. Probably too soon to see any reactions since markets aren't even open yet right now. So I'm curious, but I was also curious about, you know, SPX. Because this is the same thing that we're charting over here. So this is standard. This is the risk on stock. Now, a lot of people are looking at, oh man, Bitcoin has been holding ground. Well, it held ground until the day. And then she started giving it up. And to me, I thought that was manipulated. I think it was, you know, it's taking advantage of retail here. Let's zoom out on the monthly here. When you zoom out, I mean, does it look as bad? I mean, you know, you normally get corrections, but we're on a parabolic run. There's curve going here. That means there's momentum behind this little sucker. And just because we're getting a pullback doesn't mean that the market's all over. It just means the market's scared as hell right now. So, let me draw that. Let me try to draw that a little bit better there. Now, these lines are subjective, and so I just use them. It's not one where I say, "Oh my God, you broke that line. It's over." Kind of, but you know, straight lines. This is just tracking the idea here. What we do, I would hate to see her drop down to the 4,600, but it's not off the table. And oh man, my little place right here in the middle says August, September. That would suck. I'm not seeing that happen. What I am seeing here on the monthly is that we are at a 200 moving average, and that's a good place for us to try to bounce. We'll just walk her down a little bit. Let's go down to the weekly, and from that 21 on the monthly, we're at the 100 for the weekly. Now that's a steeper retrace. Now don't get me wrong, that's steeper. All our steeper ones came down to that or the 200 or even worse. Oh, Turkey's got a sneeze. Perhaps we should figure out and go by recent history. Places that it likes to catch and bounce 0.5. Are we at a 0.5 now? I'm hearing to say that we're probably getting close to that. And that would probably be a good place to look at to where we might be able to go to. I think we're close. Last time I remember I measured, was it from this one or from this one? This is the one that kind of really counts. We're at the 382 right now. I think we're at the 0.5 from this one. Yeah. So from the complete low to high, retesting this area, we went just a little bit lower, and that's probably going to freak a lot of people out, but I still think there's a good chance we can at least get a relief rally from here, or maybe this might be it. So my hopeful target, or my hopeful situation is that, you know, this week turns out to be, oh man, you guys played us again, you little silly nillies. And, you know, this turns out to be, you know, start seeing more positive effects coming a little sooner than not. And everybody's just sitting here thinking the worst until tomorrow. And a lot of people think they're doing the smart thing by selling off now at the bottoms at support levels, just in anticipation that we're going to give it all up and the whole market's going to hell in a handbasket tomorrow. And that's coming from a place of fear. And that's what I'm trying to point out. Usually when you make your decisions from a point of fear, you're usually making the wrong one. That's been my experience and what I've taken away from this whole TA market thing. That's usually the best time. And the TA helps you figure that out, man. We're at the port. The whole world's scared. We got bad news and everything. Even though, you know, 200 moving average above the 360, 100 above it. I know we got some bearish stuff going on, but it's not enough to, I don't see enough to justify us staying down here. I can see us bouncing down here, scaring people, going up, zigzagging a little bit, and maybe even still coming lower. But I think some relief will be coming, is what I kind of see. This is a great place to start trying to respect. The other choice would be to come down here. And even when we come up and come down here, that's not going to be fun either. There goes summer if that happens. There goes our summer. But you can't make that call just yet. You just can't. You can't make a call like that just yet. There's too much good momentum still up and to the right here to make a call like that. A call that we might be able to make is this: if we do hold this area here. Yeah, coming back from around 54, 55,000. Another 5,000 coming into SPX 500. Maybe. If you're looking at this as a bear flag, which it looks like, hey man, I'm a bear flag. You met your measure move, so let's see what happens. We should be trying to bottom out. This is what we look for. Let's see if we bottom out before we decide to sell the whole farm right now at cheap dirt ass prices. I think that's the message that I'm trying to get out. S&P 500, and this is where they were Friday. They were here. Woo! What do you think? You think they're going to just all drop real fast down here, or you think we might find some support? That is the thing to keep in mind with SPX 500. It's Standard & Poor's 500. This is from Friday. Man, we need to get Trump. You need to be on them phone calls making some of them weekend deals there. And so that is where we are. Will the market scare and drop another 2,000 tomorrow? Just, oh my God, as all the ETFs and hedge funds and all that drop, will they be selling Bitcoin? I mean, my goodness. So now we come back to Bitcoin here, where we're trying to find little rays of hopium that will hold this area. Maybe dang near get some kind of little bounce. And now we're back to this chart. Let's hope you're not a bear flag, because that would sucky. But since, you know, bear flags are a thing, let's kind of imagine what that situation would look like. I'm just going to take it from where we are now. It can probably have a little bit more wiggle room. So 75, okay. That's a number we'll have to look for, or look at. I'm still going to tell you, it doesn't mean that it's destined to happen, though. We are still at the 786, 886 areas of support. And those are known, at least deep ass retracements, to have a reputation for a holding, and then getting us back, at least back into our range at some point. While the markets kind of calm down and figure out what the hell is going on, and should I buy Bitcoin or should I buy gold? I'm curious what gold's doing. I like to check PAX-G, it's just easier for me to get to. So here's PAX-G. We're against what? Bitcoin? Or what? I got nothing on this. I'm on indices, that's why. Let's go back to crypto. And let's see. Let's just go with the futures here. This is gold futures, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll go to the daily. Oh my gosh, look at that crazy wick up there. Okay, Kraken, I'm starting to think you might be a little... Let me find a different exchange. If I see scam wicks like that, it makes me kind of wonder about them. BitGet spot. How's this? So you know, is that the scam wick? It's not the same scam wick, but what got wicked? That one I'm familiar with. What gets wicked often gets candlesticked, and that's at 3,300. And I do think that gold can go up there. Hopefully it won't do it tomorrow in the big scare. So gold is still dropping along with the market. That's kind of interesting. Well, I mean, they do go together a little bit, but gold slowly gains some strength here. But gold was $100 higher and making a lot of the news, and now she's dropping a little bit. She still looks strong. Let me come back to the chat here as we come over and watch Bitcoin. do what Bitcoin is really great about doing, which is falling like a rock. We falling back down again, darling. We falling back down. Where's my chart? Where's our chart? This one. This one? This one. And we'll just come back to the small ass time frames. Where a lot of people are probably watching this little guy. I'm still watching this Ichimoku cloud get a little bit thicker. That's still good. We're watching these little half-ass trend lines because, you know, they still got some room to develop. We're still early in trying to figure out what formation that we're trying to make here at this area of support. It looks like he lost it though. Touches I've got look like they lost. That's a bear flag to the downside. Look at that shoulder, head and shoulder going to this thing. Let's not. Let's not. The best thing I can see is something like this, which could be a bear pennant, but hey, we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of things that can be going on between just right here. And so maybe she does go down. Maybe she does. This looks kind of similar to what we were doing up here. At that 618, we kept knocking on the door until it finally broke. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Let's see. With 618, if she can get us back above the trend line, then we just kind of fleshed out this, you know, a little bit of an angle, a little bit of a comeback. Again, I'm not trying to tell you not to short the market, not to short altcoins, but if you are going to short, I wouldn't short at support. Wherever you find support, you want to try to get at one of the highs or lower highs that we get, and those are worth waiting for. Yay, we lost the 618. It's all going to hell in the handbasket. You told me not to short. And we are on the 1 minute, just watching everything die here again. Yay, we got approximately about 35 minutes until the big boys come in and start taking us in the direction they want us to go into. And like Jim was saying, you know, there is that gap. Now, I don't know, will they drive us down before they drive us back up? Wherever they drive us down to, we still got a chance to go right back up to that gap that they had on Friday. We're also at a 3618 from this very last swing low to swing high. And all this is telling me is that this is a good place to find some support. I'm watching it on the smaller time frames. I want to see what happens here. A 3618 is usually a nice strong one. Even though we took it from a little small area up there. It's a notable area to be looking at, and I want to keep my eyes on it right here. We come back to the chat, see what you guys are talking about. We got 18 people hanging out, and I'm just sitting here rattling on. The reason the 2000 bubble is so much stronger relative to our current market, despite prices being higher, is because the UMS2 was only 4.71 trillion in 2000 versus almost 22 trillion today. Oh gosh, yeah, we screwed that up, didn't we? Total amount of the money supply being put into the market during the bubble was monstrous. It was at 2000. Oh my gosh. Lady Marshmallow says, I started off with other channels, but Road Dogg was the first that actually did not want anything from me but to learn, and I am. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for being here. And oh baby, did we just do all that right now? We just did all that, right? Put the chat up, and then we just, I'm trying to remember what I was looking at right before, looking for a form of support. We made a lower low. Are the pre-markets open? Are they open? They're not trading, it's not moving. They're still 84,350 over at the other one. All right, you said screw the 3618, darling. Or did you? Or did you? Or did you? The local ones, I mean, when you pull local like I just did there and see the 1.13, I mean, those usually get good responses. Pulling from the other ones like I did for the 3618, I'm still looking at that. I still think that has a lot of weight. But she's just not as spot on as what your little local pulls. That's what I'd say about fibs. I love fibs, and I ain't changing nothing about it. We're still getting something off of this area, and it. Let's see if she can hold, darling. We'll see here on the 10-second time frame. We got the. I'm looking at the big ones now. Where'd the little ones go? The little. I didn't erase. Oh man. Did I erase my moving averages? I do that from time to time. I erased them. I gotta back up and see if I can. There we go. I hate that when I do that. Yeah, I sure did. Okay, now we got them. And let me turn them off real quick. So the bigger moving averages, we got a little signs here that look helpful. I mean, the 600 below the 800, that's not good, but you know, that's not the one I pay the most attention to. Is the 360 above the 800 relationship between those. That says a lot, and maybe it will hold. And it does look like we're getting a nice little relief rally here, or relief bounce from that lower low. But now we got to come. Now our 79 139 area is going to be resistance, and so it depends on what we do right there on this 10-second time frame. And all I know is that I'm collecting Bitcoin every time she drops right now, so that I have more that I can sell when she goes back into the 90s and maybe even back to 100,000 in those areas. And trying to grow my little Bitcoin bag, because now it's a lot smaller than what it was 2 years ago when I had more Bitcoin than anything. That was my fault, playing with the altcoins here and not taking enough profit when I needed to. Ooh, some of these altcoins are getting, they're getting into some, I got a few that may have to have my attention here soon. They're very small positions though, that's why I'm not as worried, but I start at some point you get tired of it, even just adding $5 over there. Total 3. Oh, here we go. Are we going to make it back over here, or is this going to be a rollover? That's what we need to look at here. If she rolls over here, then I may add to one of my little short positions. So that's what I'm watching for. And some of our smaller moving averages would be helpful here. We're above the 9. Which is good for now. That can change. 50 is still above the 100 on the small 10-second. Oh, well, 1 minute. We're on the 1 minute. We're on the 1 minute. Chances are, I think we probably come up to this area just a little bit, and then we may go to the bottom of the red box. It may be happening that way, but we'll see. Tighten up our game here with this trend line. Go to candle bodies. Didn't really change anything on this end. Come to the 10-second. What do you look like, darling? You're looking kind of bullish right now. Look, a flag to the upside. If we want to look at pattern shapes here and kind of just do that, little local pattern shapes, you got the bullish megaphone, 72% chance it breaks the upsides, coming up to around these areas to retest the top. Could have looked at it as a bump and run. It's not really, but hey man, they're kind of similar patterns there. And the biggest thing, of course, is the red line. What was support. Now we're trying to see if it's going to be resistance, which it looks like it might be. I'm just throwing it out. It looks like it might be. I'm seeing a few signs where she might try to get above it, but more than likely we'll get rejected over here. If so, then I'll add to my short. But so I'm just being patient and waiting for confirmation. Goes, she could keep on going. within reason. It'd be cool if she can come up and make a higher high. That would be bullish. And she's already made a higher high from here, so that's cool. That's actually kind of nice. Is it time to short or time to add to a short? No, not yet. Not for me anyway. I got to see something. Some people will be doing that right now. Will I be doing that right now? I might. I got 50 under 100. That looks like a rejection. May not be, but might be good enough for me to add to my little short, since I do have a stop loss in profit. And ooh, no, that's a long. Yeah, we need to add to the short here. Just a wee bit, within reason. Got wallet stuff with coins and guac. Trying to decide, but it's tough. Do I hold or take a taco walk? Figuring out which one's enough. Yay, we got you. Got me order in, and here we are. So it does look like we got a little rejection. There's no bearish divergence there on the RSI, so I'm curious to see how well that will hold, whether we're actually getting rejected here or we're trying to just go up. Now if we make a lower high here, or I mean a lower low from here, that would be a nice little clue. Let me see if we can draw that out. And if we don't, like it's trying to do now, well, they're making a higher low, and that could be bullish. So we just have to wait and see. This is bearish, but not until we actually get into it, start touching it. It's bullish if we're above this area here so far, if it will stick. And it's bearish that we got rejected over here, so we just kind of put that stuff together on this small ass time frame and see if it's got anything that it can give us. My stop loss is where? 80,600. No, my stop loss is at 80,000. And there we go with our lower low. All right. So this was a bearish rejection there, and we can probably expect things to come down. And it may be playing as a pennant, and it could maybe taking us down to 75.8. It might. We also got this here at 77,800. Still seeing what we do down here at this 3618 area that I got marked though. What would be another idea here, Road Dog? We can look at some angle ideas, but it's kind of weak, to be honest with you. Not really crazy about it. This line is what really matters. Let me come back to the chat here. Tomorrow will be interesting. Up, and away. Well, I don't know if it's going to be up, and away. That would be cool. I would not be, my feelings would not be hurt at all. Blocky Crypto, welcome to stream, my man. You would like me then as well. Kramer said down, says RS Miller. Oh my God, well, Kramer's always right. He was opposite, and most say down. They will play you. All this they are saying is just to get you out. Well, he called for down during that bounce, and he was right. Bouncing now, rolling. I don't even know what we're talking about, but I'm rolling with it. Your problem right now is the lack of new liquidity in the current markets. I agree, it's not here, especially in crypto. That's why so many pumps were weak. The broader market has been sick for years now. Glittering marshmallow. RS Miller says ETH coming. Ooh, what is ETH doing? You know, I haven't even checked on Ethereum. Ooh. Dang, Ethereum. It sucks on Sundays lately. It will get in your emotions if you So out of all the time, it's not affecting me so much this time because I was more prepared for it. But Sundays can really get if you're logging and it's going. If you're on the wrong side of things, it can really work on you on Sundays. Well, that did not recover back to 3,000, did it? So I had this target down here at 1577. That's my what the F happened zone, and I guess that's where we are. Let's zoom out on Ethereum here. Yeah, that's not cool. So we broke our support. Moving averages still look strong to me. And here on the weekly, we're testing the 360. Can't see when we've done that before because it's not there. Three-day was trying to do something on the MACD. I'm still going to say, man, as long as the 50 is above the 100, as long as some of these bigger moving averages are holding their ground, that I can see us coming back to touch these guys. At least come back to the 200 moving average. We're testing the 800 here now. Oh my gosh, you gave us a red dot here. For real, for real? Woo, might you be coming down there the way that they say? We're coming down to double bottom territory right here. Man. Another one of those days that makes you, why am I in crypto? Why did I do that? Why didn't I just buy gold? Or why didn't I just buy la? Look at the cup and handle to the upside. I think we can all agree that any cup and handle ideas on the dollar chart here is invalidated. Trend line's not going to help us much anymore until we get up near it. You went deep ass. You were at your 786 though. I think that's the line that we had. More than likely that's where he was. 1251 is the 886 if we get bearish enough to get there. I hope we don't. I hope we don't. And we are testing right now the 786. That's where we are. Just nipping below the 800 moving average. To me, I see possible bottom signs. The earliest states of just touching bottom is what I'm seeing. I can't promise that it's going to hold, but from some of the things I'm seeing, that this area looks like it could. But there's a red dot to the downside, and that red dot can be us also going sideways. It doesn't have to be all the way just immediately down. And all we can do is just watch and look for the signs and confirmations. So maybe she will see 13, 12, 13, but right now she's at an area where we can bounce, catch some support, and then throw people off their game. Because I'm sure a lot of people are like, oh man, Ethereum's just dumb and we need to sell now. She lost 1750. And she did, man. She did. I don't know how Ethereum is going to do this market. A lot of people were burned out on it, but you know, last cycle a lot of people were burned out on it too. When it was $188, I was one of them. When she was it 188, maybe, and when she was down to $800, I was one of them. $800, $900, I was one of them. Just like, I don't want to help with Ethereum, high gas fees and all that. And then she went what to about 4,500 from that. And that's usually what you see happen with all these coins. They'll get you to where you don't want to mess with them. You give up on them. and then they do okay. You get your bias against them because you had a bad experience, and then they might take off without you. R.S. Miller says XRP is the winner. $1.95. This topping pattern she's got's a little scary, a little suspect. She is holding that level, but will she continue to hold it? 250, 235. Maybe hard to get past there from where we are. Now I know everybody and their mother's probably looking at a head and shoulders pattern over here. I think we need to change our music up again.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
So will it come down to 160? Will it hold at 160? XRP may be headed there. And I don't know if it'll hold. 111 would be the other. And once we start getting down there, the biggest, okay, the 618 would be where she was in retesting the tops, and that seems to be what we're doing right now. We are retesting the price that we're at right now was the top that she had in April of 2021. Well, I thought you got higher. So we're retesting top areas now. I hope it holds. But she's getting sold off today too. Looks like a lot of volume selling off. Officially made a lower low, so we are still in an area where we can catch support. I just want to throw that out there. I don't know if we will. It's also an area that we can lose, and then it becomes resistance. Sundays, while we wait 5 minutes to see if what these guys are going to do. I think it opens in 5 minutes. And we'll see. Now, it makes sense that it would dump, okay? It just makes sense that they come into the market. We're 84,000. The price is just going to come right down and dump like an MF-er there. Well, I'm curious to see it play out. Now this is interesting. We're back on the 1 minute chart on Bitcoin and on futures. And look, we're getting the little bridge, the little bottom bridge pattern there. I call it like a little Roman bridge. And it's hopeful. Doesn't mean it's fail proof to play out, but I do like those. And a lot of times you can see us bounce off of these guys and start gaining traction. So this is going to be interesting as we watch CME futures open up in just a few minutes. 22 people hanging out with me. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you, because not much else to do but watch, everybody's fear of the markets before, we find out what's going on tomorrow. So thank you guys for being here. If you haven't hit the like button, help this tiny channel reach more people, because I am a tiny channel.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Sam says, we in whale territory? Well, I think a lot of whales. $78,000 Bitcoin. I'm buying. I'm buying just little bits here and there, but my limit orders are set. When you come and hit them, it's add more Bitcoin in my bag, and that's been my game plan. And this is exactly where I was looking to try to have money to put in it. And even if we go lower, I'm good to have more to put in it. So I'm actually buying Bitcoin right now. When everybody's selling, I'm actually out here. I'm trying to buy within reason what I can with what I can play. because I personally, I think this is a gift through here, and maybe we may go down to 68. I don't think so, from what I can see. I know there's a lot of people that just blazingly throw those numbers out there before we got any signs saying, whoa. And I don't agree with that, because that can put a bias in people that maybe don't need that bias. And maybe for some more, advanced traders out there, they'll take that. Oh, okay, I'll say you think it's going to go to 68. But for the newer people, like, oh, he says it's going to 68. He knows. He's been doing this for a long time. I'm good. And, and that'll be buried in the back of their head every downturn, like today when we lose 80,000. Oh my God, it's happening now. I got to sell. It's happening at 78. I got to sell. I don't know. Things like that. They cross my mind. So hopefully I'm careful with the way I say things. I remember that the ETH fell to 650 and took off with double rockets. Yeah, and I was biased against. I don't want ETH. ETH sucks. $300 gas fees. Who wants ETH? Binance is the place that's taking it over. Sam says, I've helped topple silver by buying at the top now. I'm back jinxing crypto again.
Your rhythm's a treasure that sets me free.
We got silver futures. I don't know where this. I'm not sure exactly what the spot is. Oh no, an exchange agreement needs to be filled out. Seems that you're missing a few exchange agreements to be filled out in order to get data from. Oh man, you suck. They take me to Apple, which Apple's 188 from Friday, I guess. CME is not opened up yet. We got 1 minute to go. Should I go there? I think it opens at 5, right? Is there 5? 5:30? I think it's 5 Eastern Standard Time, which is now. And I'm wrong. It's not moving. You futures people. We had 78.6 for Bitcoin, rounding top. See if we can catch some support. Sometimes these are scallops, and sometimes when they're on the bottom at support, they'll do this, and then we get a nice little bounce out of them. And then there's the fewer times when this happens, and then it just keeps rolling over. Hopefully this is one of the more times that we will bounce and go to the upside. That's what I'm looking for. And it is waiting and waiting, probably, I guess, till CME opens, and I guess it's 5:30. Standard time is Eastern at 6:30. Did it change, I guess, to 5:30 p.m.? Okay, well, I guess I'm an hour early. We got one more hour of torture to figure out what's going to happen before the big boys step in and then start taking us in the direction that they want us to go into, which could be up because, well, that's where they were, and they've actually got a fairly decent bullish looking chart over there. $78,800. Juicy. I need to put some more buy orders here. So me little add into the short thing. Make sure my stops are in a good place there. Okay. So I'm up like 40. I've just got like a 20x short. I'm up 40% on that. And my entry now is like 80,006. I've added to my entry on the way down, and so it's lowered it. I've taken profits. And my Aave short, yeah. You're finally doing something. My Aave long sucks. I'm just kind of doing a little hedge play there, and So I like what I'm seeing here so far, that maybe this era is for a while. That's all I can say right now in the small time frames. Let's see if she does. We were looking at silver for a second, but I lost it. We were trying to get silver futures, but they got all weird on me. So I'm just going to see what the silver spot ticker is, because I forgot. XAG. Why didn't I know that? XAG. It's $29. She was up 34, and silver is cheap right now. Yay! When did that all happen to? Are they're trading right now? No, that was Friday's prices. Friday, silver dump Friday? Wow, check that out.
Digital waves crash at our feet. Tokens sway, they catch the light. Ride the tide.
Nice curvaceous rounding.
Baila conmigo, oh dance with me. Spin that chain, feel the sea. Crypto shines, we're living.
So is it what, 29? Could drop to 26. I mean, she can do a lot of things, but I would think 26, 27 should be a good place to hold it. Maybe 20. Well, 200 moving average at 20, basically 25. I like silver. I like gold too. I bought some gold back when back in the day, and it was about $13.50. I got some KuCoins. I got them actually off of Goodwill, and I felt like I was getting so screwed and overpaying for them and everything. Definitely not that now. And I remember thinking, man, this is a boomer play. It takes gold forever to do anything. Oh my gosh, that was been a minute. That has been a minute. Yeah, it's back in 19 or... Yeah, I believe it was 18, 19, probably 19. I think it was about 19. Well, I guess that's kind of cool. The KuCoins. Stupid me, I bought it on a credit card. That's all I can do back in the day. So gold going up, and then she's just hanging out 3,000. Getting a little parabolic there. As this market gets scared AF. And we watch Bitcoin hang around at 78, 8,000. 5 minute. Thought we had a green candle, but now we don't. Oh no! What do you guys think? You think we're dropping? You think we might actually recover from here? I think we got a chance to recover from here. We won't know until the CME guys come in about an hour and a half. I probably forgot what it said. Don't know if I'll be streaming them. Well, I definitely will be streaming tonight. Ichimoku Cloud's getting thick, and I like that as a good sign. We're at support. Several areas of support, trend lines and Fibonacci's and otherwise. 786 Fibonacci. 3.618 if you do some kind of weird lesser important fib pull, but it's still there. On here on the 1 minute, it's the only fun place to watch her try to do something, and even it wasn't as fun. And now we just got kind of that makes more sense, a little sideways channel at the moment.
Networks deep, where trust is born, where promises keep. No banks, no borders, no strings to hold. Futures open, the streets are paved with code. Crypto skies, they call.
I knew a guy that bought about 650,000 K worth of gold around 1400. Went lower to 1,300 and he sold at a loss. Oh man, told him just hold it and hedge, but oh well. Wow, that's... I bet he regrets that now. But it was a slow play back then. It was a slow play. Y'all seen all them gold backs? I'm not really sure what you're talking about. I've heard the gold backs, but I'm not getting the context. Silver has disappointed me for years now. Watch one more weekend. That's the way to look at it. Sam says, I finally got a new phone. How big do they make those Tangem rings? That's a good question. I did look that up, and I think 12. Choose size 13. It goes up to a size 13. Which is pretty good size. That's about as big as my big toe. And they go down to a size 6, so it puts women at a little bit of a disadvantage. You know, some women, because these will not be sizable rings. You cannot get these resized. Okay, they are probably ceramic, and you do not get those resized. Just the jewelry person's coming out at me now. A lot of women do wear between 6 and size 6 and 8, but then you got those that wear, you know, the 4.5 and 5.5, and so they'll miss out. Standard men's size is 10. The standard women's size is 7, and that's for a ring that you get that you might have sized. Like if you go pick out engagement ring, most of the time you might be all right if you go with one of those. You always want to get her finger measurement before though. I don't know if you know this, but if you go down below a 6 when you're sizing the diamond rings, well, you might be at risk of losing some of them diamonds, so be cautious. Oh my God! Are you missing your old job or something? 18 people hanging out on this Sunday where we're just watching markets tank, and I'd love to sit here and wait for CME futures to come on. I thought that's what we were going to do, but we're way early apparently. Sam AP says they are more of a work of art. Sam, goldbacks. They are cool. Yes, they are. I don't know what we're talking about. What's the goldback? You got me curious now. Goldback inflation resistant stocks? I don't know. Is a goldback worth anything? Goldback is a fractional gold commercial product marketed as a local currency, which has seen limited use in some U.S. states. And sold and marketed by Goldback Inc. out of Utah. That looks cool. They got pictures on them. They're like gold NFTs. Is that what we're looking at? Gold NFTs? KuCoin's got them. Am I behind the time? Are these paper? Oh, women, are these paper? They're notes. I wouldn't doubt that we'll see something more like that. People do like to. Huh? I'm not even heard of this company before. Let's go see. Let's go check out Goldback. Resistant that looks. Oh, the pirate. I want the pirate. Goldback movement. Inflation needs to run away. Yeah. Let's start. Pay with goldbacks. Become a merchant. What are goldbacks? Daily exchange rate. Mintage. Mintages and artwork. Yes, they are very much NFT-ish. They would make a good NFT. Then we might make it a little bit more liquid and easier. Where to buy? Pay with goldbacks. Become a merchant. Accept goldbacks as my business. So one goldback is worth $6.12. Well, that's interesting. I believe the states have the constitutional right to make money in gold or silver. And you got to ask yourself, well, how the hell we get stuck with the Federal Reserve? Yeah, that's a good one to go down to. Which happens to come after tariffs. And that's when our whole world changed in 1913 with the Federal Reserve. We went to a debt-based economy, and everything is based on debt and slave labor. Personally, I think there's a better way than Federal Reserve banking and fractionalization. That has been a detriment. That has shifted all the wealth to the bankers, the big bankers, the federal bankers, the reserve bankers, whatever. They're globalist dudes. They're in every country. And I know we think BlackRock has a reputation for owning everything, but centralized bankers are the ones that are in control of everything. We're trying to get power away from them. That was the whole thing about Bitcoin and why we like Bitcoin so much. And one of the things why I like Trump so much is because he sees that. Nice little area, we're within our range, and we just bump to the tops and the bottoms and bottoms to the tops until we decide to finally actually do something, and hopefully it's going to be break to the upside. I would love to see this be a fake out on a Sunday like it normally is. We go Monday, and then maybe Monday's not as bad as everybody thought. And I could be totally freaking off my game on that. Tomorrow we may wake up and maybe it is that horrible Monday. But then maybe it's the fake out, and then Tuesday's a better day after everybody in the legacy system, Wall Street and whatever they are, they get it all out of their system. And, you know, the mad pissed off Democrats sell off their last remaining bit of their Tesla stock. And I bet Tesla's been hit. Well, the pre-market, I don't think the pre-market's open just yet. But I'm sure Friday they got hit. $239 for Tesla. You got MicroStrategy, which... What the hell? How are you at $6,000? That didn't make any sense to me. That should have been the right one. And wow, I can't even find this. MicroStrategies, where are you, darling? Here we go. Why do you keep saying 6,000? It ain't 6,000. I wish it was 6,000. I would be a happy man. $79,000 out of Bitcoin, making a little bit of recovery on the small time frame, so at least we got that. You'll see the little scallop thingy? Maybe it's starting to work a little bit. Let's hope so. See a little green on this Ichimoku cloud, but we are on the 1 minute time frame. It's way too early, ladies and gentlemen. We might be able to get some kind of little angle dangle here, a little resistance. Can you break to the upside? I guess we'll stick around and see if that will happen. Yay, look at you. So my fingers are crossed that we just went through a little Sunday fake out like they usually get us. And this is usually the time that they do get us, right around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. But still, it doesn't mean we can't go up and then, you know, come back down and roll over. We got to see what the big boys are going to do. And they've not opened on their exchange. We could be going up almost $4,000 from here, $5,000 from here. It could happen. Then we can come right back down. There's so much that could be happening. Shaky time to be in the market, but really, in my personal opinion, DCA and Bitcoin right now, picking up some Bitcoin around 78, 79,000 is probably a good idea. If that can fit in your strategy, it's fitting into mine. I wish I could buy a whole lot more right through here, but I'm trying to get what I can within reason. Within reason of the season. 16 people hanging out, some people coming in, some people going out, some people might be caught in commercials. I don't know how that works. Hey, there's Joe from Trade Intuition. What's going on, my man? Glad to have you here. Joe probably got $14 in go backs. They say he keeps it hidden as fanny packs, what the word is. I don't know. How's it going, Joe? Matty Ghost, I prepared in February, put my options in Tesla, Nike, Cat, printing. I hope we get Bloody Monday, then I might cash it in. I'm making more on outs than crypto. Or is options outs? Congratulations, my man. There's probably some choices that I should have done back then, but I didn't. Sin says, gold's so pretty. They are laminated gold, says Sam. Jim says the entire gaming NFT era during the FTX crash was the worst time I've ever witnessed in crypto. Oh my gosh. Sam says, I heard Nike got hit too. They would have been subject to some tariffs in some of those, you know, Vietnam and some of those other places, I think. $57 from 50. Well, I'm on the 1 minute. Oh, wow. So, well, that's January 22. So from February, I mean, they dropped from 80 to 57. I guess, yeah, that kind of sucks a little bit to be them. Well, if you are a third Elliott wave, the 5180 might be a good little place to bounce. $49.64 it needs to hold for Nike. And we're close to being down there. Between today and tomorrow, I'm sure we'll test that guy. And it need to hold. Micro Bitcoin futures still hanging out way up there, where they were Friday. And here we are, the 200 moving average. Remember, I kept saying that on this chart, I could see us coming down and touching this 200 moving average again. That's right where we are right now, 78.5, 79,000. So if I had to guess when they open up, I'm sure we'll finally get our candle there, but that's a good area for support on this chart if it can hold. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that the turkey is going to sign off and come back again later on tonight. There's just not much going on until the market opens, but on the small time frames, we do seem to be holding some support, whether it's just temporary or not. I like what I'm seeing here, and I'm hoping that this is support area. Maybe the bullish sentiment coming out, but you know, we see this happen a lot on Sundays. A lot of times it is a fake out. And I think that's the best way to approach it instead of letting the fear take us over. I wouldn't be trying to front run what may happen tomorrow, in other words. The front running for that was when we were pumping up during midweek. And I did voice that opinion then, and that's the play that I made. And I'm glad I did. And some of you guys even made better plays. You guys switched out back in February, December, and all this, went in other directions. And, you know, you weren't as totally crypto-centric as I am. And that was good for you guys, too. I'm glad you guys did that and have enough knowledge and foresight to see that. And maybe the rest of us will gain some of that, too, in time. My channel is mostly crypto-centric. I'll look at anything that's got a chart on it, though. I just like the chart. I like what I'm seeing. We're getting oh look, we regained our 200 moving average. Helen, it's a sell the house. And that's good. That's a good start right there. Now we're trying to work on flipping these ribbons on the smaller time frames at support 786 Fibonacci, and we haven't tried to do that since we were back over here around 82. Trying to flip them little suckers. Maybe it'll hold better than what it did there. But we were able to get above the 800, so maybe we can come back. I'm thinking so. I'm liking what I'm seeing here, actually. Guys, I'll be back again probably about 10 or 10:30 tonight on Sunday night. I actually did kind of enjoy going a little bit earlier last night. I think I went in about 10, and my evening went better that way. I wasn't up to as crazy of hours. So you might be seeing me do that. Before I leave on this small ass time frame, I'm going to take a Fibonacci and just gain the health of her. And 79.5, if we can hold above 79.5, we're just right there at the door. I would start feeling better. If we start working toward 80, yeah, baby. But, you know, we got another hour and a half. I'll probably update the Telegram group with whatever I see going on there in relation to CME futures. But it still can be kind of janky. It could still be janky, and even though this is a nice little start of a bottom pattern, it could be a start of a bigger pattern. We're on the 1 minute, by the way. When you go to the 6 minute, you know, it kind of opens up the possibility. Oh, we could just be, you know, where are you at? I mean, we could come down and do a big double bottom or some kind of. There's lots of things we can do, but the thing is, the more important thing is we are holding the support so far. And I hope you continue. I hope you continue, even though I am short in the market. I'd like to, you know, build my short if you come back up to some higher areas. All right, guys, I'll see you tonight. Thanks for hanging out. And, you know, try not to have any heart attacks or anything like that if that's the situation you find yourself in. Because I think there might be some hopium here. But it all depends on tomorrow. I would be listening to the news and see if we hear about some more countries calling in, and you know, the White House saying, yeah, this country called, because I think that's the signs that we need to see from all this, is the countries coming on board. And once we start seeing that in the market, you know, the tensions will lighten up, and then the ones that came in, I'm going to go in a trade war, you know, they'll lighten up. Oh wait a minute, you mean maybe if we back off on some of our tariff, VATs, taxes, you know, or maybe if we kind of, you know, let you bring your cars over or the food over, the stuff that you're selling in America, maybe we open up for that. You okay? That you're not going to tariff? That's that big. Okay, kind of level it out a little bit. Oh, okay. Well, cause you know we like what you got there. Maybe we can let a little. Yeah, we can let some of that in. Okay. We'll just put a 10% on, and you'll put a 10. Okay. Maybe we can go with. They can negotiate this tariff stuff, is what I'm saying, and that's what he's doing. He's bringing everybody to the table. And the world they're not used to a leader who knows how to negotiate. I'm sorry. You're just used to these leaders that follow what the bankers tell them to do. And they're Federal Reserve bankers, and oh my God, well, so we do this? Well, let's go with the word. Let's go with these big global organizations that are just as corrupt as what we've been seeing in the federal government with their money, and let's let the globalists tell us what to do. Well, hell no, screw that. That's not what we need. Even the Bible tells you that's not the way to go. I mean, if you want Jesus to come back sooner, be a globalist. That's what it says. There is only going to be one global government over this world. There's only, well, there might be one that tries to establish itself, but it's not going to work. Okay, whatever global gets in, there is only one king for this earth, and this kingdom will be coming back at some point. And some of you believe that, and some of you think, "Oh, Road Dog, you're going to get all that religious stuff." I'm really not a, you know, I just believe, and I just know that to be true. We'll see. They're not going to win in the end. Is all I got to say. All right, guys, I'll see you tonight. Thanks for hanging out. I think I've said that about 15 times and never got anywhere. But the markets will be boring. We'll just see what's going to happen here. We got some good chances to maybe hold this area. And if we do drop, well, next we're looking 75, 76, and cheaper Bitcoin to buy. To the end screen. There we go. Finally made it. Thank you, Glittery Marshmallow. Thank you for hanging out.
Digital whisper says hold tight, but I'm losing faith in the night. When moon crypto, when moon, I'm so tired of waiting. Everyone is capitulating.
Let's let the little doggy give the wave. See you guys later.